So hi there folks, I thought it would be worth doing a high level summary of the Destiny story before Destiny 2 comes out. As a note before I start, this is not obviously meant for veterans who know the story inside out, as it's quite a high level summary meant for those who haven't played Destiny 1 or those who want a quick summary of the main story events before starting Destiny 2. The story of Destiny begins with the arrival of the Traveller to our solar system, first visiting Venus, Mercury and Jupiter before drawing the attention of humanity. The Traveller is a mysterious spherical entity, and as it had done for other civilizations before us, the Traveller taught us new technologies, and we advanced rapidly, creating things like the Exo war robots, and expanding across the planets, with the Traveller terraforming planets for us. This age would become known as the Golden Age of humanity. However, the Traveller is a being of light, and its enemy followed us here, the Darkness. The Darkness destroyed our Golden Age civilization, and this event would become known as the Collapse. However, the Traveller, instead of leaving as it usually did, decided to stay and defend us for some incomprehensible reason. It fought the Darkness, and it would eventually come to rest over an area of safety on Earth, shielded by its light, where the last city and the tower would one day come to be built. The Traveller was rendered completely comatose by its efforts against the Darkness, and with its final breath, it released the Ghosts, small floating drones who would seek out and resurrect dead warriors who would become known as the Guardians. Those who are immune to death and can wield the light of the Traveller through various abilities, meant to protect humanity while the Traveller can no longer do so. Between the Collapse and now, the city would eventually be built underneath the Traveller, with the Vanguard, a united body of Guardians, being formed to defend it, with one leading member representing each Guardian type. In very basic terms, the Titans are the stalwart warriors of light, Hunters are the recon specialists, and Warlocks are the warrior scholars. Zavala commands the Titans, Ikora commands the Warlocks, and Cade commands the Hunters. The Speaker would rise as a leader of the city from its foundation, speaking on behalf of the Traveller and preserving our histories. Our story begins many years after the Collapse, when our ghost resurrects us in the Cosmodrome of Old Russia. It is fortuitous, for at this time the Dark is rising again, and we will face various threats, for 4 races have followed in the wake of the Darkness and seek to take what was once ours. The Fallen, real name the Elixini, are an insectoid race, once a noble race, separated by the houses and ruled by the Kells. They were too cultivated by the Traveller. However, their great civilization fell, hence the Fallen, and so they come to our system as pirates and raiders to retake the Traveller and their former glory. The Fallen worship their servitors, floating machines, as machine gods, and machines are what they see as divine. The Hive are probably the closest personification of the Darkness that we experience in the game. They are a race born of the dark and infested by worms who consume life and light, and they have come to devour the Guardians and the light of the Traveller itself. They are ruled by the theology known as sword logic, i.e. the fittest deserve to live, and the weakest deserve to be consumed. They are organised by a tithe system, ruled at the top by Oryx, the Taken King, and other Ascendant Hive, including his son Crota. These Ascendant Hive cannot be truly killed in the physical realm, for they also exist in their own throne realms, which are basically like a personal hell. The Cabal will be the major focus of Destiny 2, but were the least featured in the first game. They are a militaristic empire of large, bulky, rhino-like creatures. They are highly disciplined and organised, and we now know they are ruled by an emperor called Gaul, and their troops are organised into legions, much like the Roman Empire. In Destiny 1, the Cabal had an outpost on Mars, and made an attempt to assassinate the Taken King by boarding the Dreadnought. They are also engaged in a ferocious ground war on Mars with the Vex. The Vex are a race of cyborgs consisting of organic, microscopic life forms encased in a mechanized body. The Vex are controlled by a singular network that moves across time and space, and as such, the Vex appear across all of time and space. The Vex appear to be attempting to force their network through the fabric of reality, though their intentions and motivations are a little bit harder to understand than the others. In the vanilla game, we start by attempting to interfere in the Fallen's activities in the Cosmodrome, for although they are scattered, the Fallen once posed a real threat to the city when they almost united, and attacked the city en masse. However, we discover that one of our ancient enemies, the Hive, have returned to Earth, who we once thought confined to the moon. So we take to the moon, where once a great force of guardians was decimated by the Hive at the hands of the Hive Prince Crota himself, son of Oryx. We disrupt the Hive's attempt to drain the Traveller's light in a ritual in the Chamber of Night. We are then contacted on the moon by a mysterious exo-stranger who directs us to Venus to face the real threat, the Vex. We learn that the Vex inhabit the Black Garden, a realm which exists both in the past, future, and present, and after defeating a Vex Gatelord, and with the Awoken's help, we are able to enter this realm. As a subnote, the Awoken are a sub-race of humans that exist in an area known as the Reef, at the edge of the solar system. The Awoken were created when humans tried to flee the collapse, but the darkness stopped them, and they were not there under the Traveller's light. How they survived is anyone's guess, but they are now characterized by their dark skin and glowing eyes, and they are ruled by Queen Mara Sov, who helps us in this instance to penetrate the Black Garden. The Vex worship the darkness at the heart of this garden, known as the Black Heart, a dark presence neither us or the Vex understand, and is weakening the Traveller. We manage to destroy the heart, which brings the garden back into our reality and into the light, which nullifies its dark presence, and we finally put an end to the Vex's plan of invading time and space by attacking their Vault of Glass, a Vex stronghold where their various timelines converge, and it is the focus of their attempts to infect the fabric of the universe. In the expansion Dark Below, we take the fight back to Crota on the moon. His cult is attempting to revive him, so we destroy them, and then we destroy his soul crystal so that he cannot return to our world. Finally, in the raid Crota's End, we invade his throne realm and defeat him one final time, truly killing him. In the House of Wolves expansion, a leader, or Kel, of a fallen house of the Wolves, escapes the Awoken prison of Elders. He is attempting to become Kel of Kells and unite all the houses, forcibly or otherwise. We put an end to Skolas's designs, and finally end him in the prison of Elders, where he is imprisoned again. In the Taken King expansion, this introduces King Oryx of the Hive, who invades our solar system in revenge for our killing of his son Crota. His dreadnought and his fleet are stopped at Saturn by the Awoken, who at great cost stall the fleet while Oryx licks his wounds. At this point, the Queen and her brother Aldrin Sov are missing and presumed dead in the battle. It also gets the attention of the Cabal, who crash a ship right into the side of the Dreadnought and establish a beachhead under orders from the Emperor to kill the Taken King. Whilst we complete their mission for them, they send a signal back to the Empire, and as we can see from the events of Destiny 2, this message is obviously heard. Oryx then unleashes his Taken upon the solar system while he stalls at Saturn. Oryx, in a long story short, is the God King ruler of the Hive, and he has gained the ability to take life and replace it with a shadow which bends to his will. These are his Taken. The Hive offer themselves to be taken voluntarily, but he forcibly takes from all the other races, meaning the Taken are extremely dangerous and versatile foes. The Cabal suffer losses on Phobos to the Taken, and the entire Vex network is almost completely taken from the Vault of Glass until we put a stop to this. Ultimately, we kill Oryx's physical form, and then in the raid, we invade his throne realm and destroy his giant true form forever. Finally, in the Rise of Iron expansion, an old threat emerges in the form of a Golden Age technology called Siva, a self-replicating nanotechnology that consumes everything it touches. The last of the Iron Lords, a group of pre-Vanguard Guardians, who like wolves and axes, tell us that the Iron Lords were all killed, sealing Siva, which is impressive, considering Guardians can't really die. The fallen House of Devils has found Siva and began to splice it into themselves and their technology, making them more half-machine, closer to what they see as divine. We finish the Iron Lord's works by destroying the chamber the Iron Lords sealed themselves in, and fighting off their zombified bodies, before in the raid, Wrath of the Machine, we descend to the lair of splicers, and kill Archon Prime Axis, who has basically become all machine. On reflection of all these victories, the speaker declares an age of triumph. We have made gains against our enemies. The Fallen's plans to unite and the powerful Devil Splicer faction have failed. There is even word that the Fallen have begun to scatter and burn all their banners, begging the question, where are they? It's quite eerie, considering the Fallen have been the one persistent thorn in our side. The Hive have lost a great deal of leadership, including their king and his fleet. There is certainly a void to be filled here. The Vex's plans for becoming one with the fabric of the universe has been foiled upon our attacks of the Vault of Glass, and indeed the breathtaking occupation of the previously impenetrable vault highlights their current weakness. The Cabal plans aboard the Dreadnought may have failed, but they sent a message back to their Emperor, and in Destiny 2, the Cabal will make the aforementioned victories feel like fleeting memories, when Emperor Gaul responds by snatching the city and the Traveller with his disciplined Red Legion. For consider this, the Cabal we met on Mars and the Dreadnought, the forces who almost destroyed the Dreadnought and made gains against the Vex, were merely a forward vanguard, scouts if you like. We are yet to taste the Cabal's full might. Yes, Guardians, we have a fight on our hands for Destiny 2.